Hi guys, it's Sheena from Teton Raptor Center and I'm here to give you all this week's patient update. We've got a few birds that have recently been released as well as many birds in care, so let's go ahead and get started. To start things off this week, I want to highlight our recent releases. This is Golden Eagle 822 and this immature bird was admitted from Teutonia, Idaho with soiled feathers. It appeared that he had somehow gotten into some type of thick and yellow oil substance that coated his entire body. So after some supportive care and a couple baths, he was moved into the flight barn where he was able to get back to flying, and the bird was successfully released on the 24th. Our second release of the week is Red-tailed Hawk 830. And this juvenile bird came in from Jackson, Wyoming due to emaciation. However, he gained weight, put on more body fat, and quickly got into shape in our flight barn. We also live prey tested him several times just to boost his hunting abilities, and he was successfully released on the 26th of September. Our third and final release of the week comes from Cooper's Hawk 825, and this bird came in from Evanston, Wyoming after he flew into a window and fractured his coracoid. Here he is back out in the wild. We don't have a video, but we do have a photo of him perched up in a tree shortly after the release. First up for our current patients is Great Horned Owl 928. This bird came in from Hoback, Wyoming after being hit by a vehicle. Luckily, the bird has no fractures. However, the blunt force trauma that occurred to his right wing was rather intense. It caused the wing to flip 360 degrees in the wrong direction. So as soon as this bird came in, staff anesthetized the patient and flipped and re-rotated the wing back into the correct direction. And the bird is now in a wing wrap. This process is relatively quick, however, it is a little painful and uncomfortable. So after the bird woke up, we did start a course of anti-inflammatory pain medication. Next up, we have Cooper's Hawk 924, and this juvenile bird was admitted from Green River, Wyoming with trauma to his left eye. He also was emaciated, and you can see in this photo his left eye is squinting. We're consulting with our avian ophthalmologist on how to proceed with treatment, and he's currently receiving medicated eye drops and food 3 times a day so that his eye can heal and so that he can start gaining weight. Here we have Red-tailed Hawk 914. This bird has quickly become a staff favorite, and this bird came in from Idaho Falls where he was found emaciated upon admission. Right now he's making great improvements and has moved into our flight barn to begin flight conditioning for release back into the wild. We also want to live prey test him several times to make sure that he can hunt successfully on his own. Next up is Cooper's Hawk 913, and this juvenile hawk was admitted from Victor, Idaho with a heavy ectoparasite load in his right ear. Staff carefully removed all of the parasites using a small set of tweezers and also provided the bird with a dose of an anti-parasitic medication called ivermectin. This medication solely works to eradicate worms, small mites, and feather lice from the body. The bird is now in flight conditioning and is set to return to the wild soon. Next is juvenile Swainson's Hawk 912. This bird was admitted from Driggs, Idaho with a fractured scapula. The scapula is healing quite nicely and the bird has been moved to a larger enclosure this past week. We hope that we can begin flight conditioning in the next week or so. Next we have juvenile Cooper's Hawk 910. This bird came in from Evanston, Wyoming with a fractured left coracoid. He's been moved to a larger enclosure where he can begin flight conditioning and his flight is looking really good so far. Next up is our female American kestrel. This is Kestrel 98, and this bird was admitted from Rigby, Idaho with a fractured ulna in her left wing. She underwent surgery, which was successful, and now she has a pin in her ulna to help align the bone and allow it to heal properly. She'll be ready to undergo her second surgery to remove the pin from her wing in just another week or so. Here we have juvenile Cooper's Hawk 95. This bird came in from right across the street in Wilson, Wyoming with a fractured right coracoid. We suspect that he most likely flew into a window. The fracture is finally stable and the bird has been moved into the flight barn where he's preparing for release. This is Swainson's Hawk 831, And this bird came in with head and eye trauma. The trauma to the left eye is so bad that this bird will never be able to see again out of that eye. And so our only options here are to pursue permanent placement or to proceed with euthanasia. However, since this bird is young and we believe we can provide him a good quality of life here at Teton Raptor Center, we are hopeful that this bird can become our program bird in our education department, and we've already started the paperwork to get the ball rolling on this transfer from rehab to education. Stay tuned in the following videos to see how paperwork proceeds and if this bird ends up a permanent resident here at Teton Raptor Center. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 826. This juvenile came in from Victor, Idaho after being found emaciated. He's successfully gained weight and is now being live prey tested in our flight barn to gear up for release back out into the wild. Here we have juvenile Swainson's Hawk 823, and this bird came in from Victor, Idaho with fractures in both his left clavicle and his left coracoid. The fractures are fully healed, and you can see here that our bird is flying in the flight barn and conditioning for release. However, we do suspect that this bird will require a little bit more time in the flight barn since his wing gets fatigued quicker due to the injuries he's sustained. Next up is Golden Eagle 85. This juvenile was admitted to Teton Raptor Center with severe eye trauma in his left eye, and unfortunately that trauma will never resolve and the bird will not be able to see out of his left eye. Since he is a juvenile, is food motivated, and does well in captivity being around other people, staff felt that he would be a great fit to be a permanent placement bird at another facility, and we are in the process of working on paperwork to transfer him to the National Eagle Center in Minnesota. Next up is Red-tailed Hawk 525. This bird came in before the summer and is currently awaiting paperwork to continue his life as an education bird at the Audubon Nature Center in New York. Staff have been working with him on the glove to ensure a smooth transition to become a program bird. Last but not least is our humongous female golden eagle 4-2. This bird also came in before the summer, back in April, and she is not releasable back out into the wild as she cannot fly. However, due to her calm nature and relaxed attitude, staff feel that she'd be a great fit to be on display at another facility, and we are in the process of working on paperwork to transfer her to the Ecotarium in Massachusetts. All right, that's all we've got for this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I look forward to talking with you all next week. Bye!